This past offseason, the Cleveland Cavaliers signed Jarrett Allen to a 5-year $100 million extension, which was met by a lot of skepticism around the basketball world. First, people cited Allen's unconventional fit with rookie Evan Mobley, a supremely talented big man who has the potential to be maximized as a long-term center himself. And second, despite Jarrett Allen showing some really good upside, people just weren't really convinced that he was good enough to be a crucial long-term piece for a rebuilding team like the Cavs. However, nearly halfway into the season, all those doubts seem to be gone, as so far, Jarrett Allen has been so good and so efficient to the point that everything that he doesn't do, like shoot threes, handle the ball, or have super high usage, actually doesn't really matter anymore for a surprising Cleveland Cavaliers team which is primed to make the playoffs for the first time since 2018. As arguably the Cavs' best player, after playing 37 regular season games, Allen is averaging 16.6 points, 11 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.4 blocks, and 0.8 steals per game, all of which are career-high numbers. Further, Allen is also sporting a career-best 71.5 true shooting percentage, which also happens to be the second highest true shooting mark in the NBA this season. All in all, Jarrett Allen is an emerging Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's also the second best big man in the Eastern Conference, and when All-Star reserves are announced next month, I expect him to be a surefire selection because of his great play. So in hindsight, handing out a 5-year $100 million extension to an excellent young center to play for a non-free agent destination market actually turns out to be one of the best business decisions that the Cavs have made during the post-LeBron James era. So what's good guys, it's Rero Balls here, and in this video, we'll break down how Jarrett Allen is destroying the stereotype of him being just a typical rim-running big man and why he looks primed to be one of the best centers in the league for years to come. But before we move on, if you guys happen to enjoy these types of content, you can show your support for the channel by hitting that like button or by clicking that subscribe button. It only takes a second of your time, but it definitely goes a long way and it would be much appreciated. So let's get to it. When you look at Jarrett Allen's stats per 100 possessions, there's really no significant change from prior seasons, particularly with his rebounding, assists, and block numbers. However, there's no doubt that his impact is being felt on the court this season more than ever. Well, a lot of that surely has got to do with him playing alongside a more well-rounded roster, but I think it's also because he's just continuously developing his skills as a big man. And for sure, everything starts with his defensive ability. With the Cavs playing 3 7-footers together on the floor a huge chunk of the time, the team has produced the NBA's third best defense, and Jarrett Allen's contributions play a huge part on that end. Well, the numbers would tell you the whole story. As per NBA advanced statistics, when Jarrett Allen is the nearest defender on the floor, opponents are shooting 16.1% worse than their average on shots within 6 feet of the basket. That's actually the biggest drop-off produced by any player who has contested at least 100 attempts from that zone this season, with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Evan Mobley producing the two biggest drop-offs from that area next to Allen. Well, you just can't ask any better from a center who stands 6'11" and who has a 7'6" wingspan, but who also covers a lot of ground on drop coverages, and who also knows how to use his size and length as a weak side help defender around the rim like Jarrett Allen does. Just like in this clip, watch how Allen guards this possession. First, he goes right at the level of the screen, and once Kelly Oubre receives the handoff, you can just see Allen trail him by moving his feet really well, before eventually showing off his verticality by blocking Oubre's shot right at the rim. Then here, watch Houston run a screen and roll play. You can see DJ Augustin making a nice pass to the rolling Jae'Sean Tate. This looks like an open dunk for Tate up until Jarrett Allen just jumps out of the weak side to totally erase his shot at the basket. Also, because Allen spends most of his minutes playing alongside another elite interior defender in Evan Mobley, this season he's actually expected to function as a perimeter defender for extended stretches of time as well. And Jarrett Allen's own development as a defender in space has actually erased a lot of the concerns regarding his on-court pairing with Mobley. As this season, you can just see Allen looking quicker and more mobile than ever when he's staying with guys around the perimeter, while he also continues to deploy his active hands in order to disrupt opponents' shot attempts. And a huge proof of that comes with the fact that Allen is averaging a career-high 1 steal per 36 minutes this season. Just like in this transition play, watch how well Jarrett Allen moves his feet to deny Ja Morant an open driving lane. Morant tries to cross him up, but Allen stays right on his feet before he eventually strips the ball out of the guy's hands. Again here, Jarrett Allen gets out of the paint to guard Bogdanovic in space, but then Utah goes to a ball screen play and Allen is now switched to Donovan Mitchell. Then watch him go toe-to-toe with the guy in the perimeter as he eventually uses his size to bother Mitchell's pull-up jumper. Well, Evan Mobley was already expected to be a great perimeter defender for a big man coming into the league while Allen wasn't. But huge props to Allen for displaying tremendous growth in this area as it actually made both him and Mobley's roles highly interchangeable, which has been a huge reason for the Cavs' stifling defense this season. However, Jarrett Allen's improvements aren't just limited on defense, as the guy is also starting to show that he's more than just a rim-running big man on the offensive end. I mean, a number of young centers who fit such rim-running archetypes still struggle to convert in traffic, to set the right kinds of screens, or to make the extra pass when needed. But Jarrett Allen is someone who can actually do all those things at a high level, which I think is what sets him apart from other young rim-running bigs in the NBA today. Well, Allen's role on offense still mostly comes off the ball as someone who receives interior passes from his teammates. However, this is a role that he has seemed to play into perfection this season because when you watch him, Allen just seems very patient while he smartly drifts into the right spaces to create passing windows for guys like Darius Garland and Ricky Rubio. And those two-man actions involving Allen and his point guards have actually produced more than great results for the Cavs, as according to PBP stats, the Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen pair in particular has generated the third most rim assists among two-man combinations this season, only behind Trae Young's combinations with Clint Capella and John Collins. This actually indicates that the Cavs will have one of the best two-man offensive pairings in the league for years to come, thanks to Garland's elite passing and Jarrett Allen's great size and timing. Just like in this clip, you can see Jarrett Allen set the nice screen for Garland. This gives Garland just the right amount of space to get past his defender. Then immediately, Allen puts himself in the right position to receive the nice pass from Garland as he rises up to finish the tough shot at the rim against two defenders. Again here, as Garland receives the handoff from Allen, you can see Allen maneuvering towards the paint, and as Garland turns the corner, watch Allen quickly move into the opposite block, giving the point guard the space to dish out the nice lob pass to him. And as a result of his elite rim running play, Jarrett Allen is converting a ridiculous 70.7% of all his two-point field goal attempts, which is the second highest two-point field goal mark in the NBA this season, only behind Rudy Gobert's 71.6% rate. This actually shows that Jarrett Allen has been as elite as it gets when compared to other big men. And although by no means is Allen being deployed by the Cavs as an on-ball shot creator, his own development on that end is something that has also strengthened his all-star campaign so far. Because particularly when he's on the elbow or the low block, Jarrett Allen is starting to use some pivots and up fakes together with the newly incorporated hook shot in order to create offense for himself. Just like in this clip, watch Jarrett Allen make his move from the elbow. First, he dribbles his way into the paint, then he spins to the left, then he pivots to the right before shooting the nice hook above his defender. Again here, Allen receives the ball on the elbow, then he decides to post his man up on the low block, he spins, then he goes for the up fake before finishing the open shot right at the rim. All in all, these types of shots have been a great source of offense for Allen, and as proof of his growth as a shot creator, among all players who have finished at least 70 possessions with a post-up this season, Allen's 63.6% mark actually ranks as the best post-up percentage in the entire league. But outside of his newly found self-creation ability, I think Jarrett Allen also separates himself from the pack of young rim-running big men with his passing vision and playmaking. While Evan Mobley or Kevin Love are still the ideal big man distributors from the short roll or from the high post, the Cavs are also trusting Allen as a decision maker, and a huge part of his growth as a passer can be attributed to how he has developed great high-low chemistry alongside the Cavs' other big men. Just like in this clip, you can see the Cavs running their usual double drag screen play. Here, Darius Garland immediately passes the ball to Allen, who goes for the short roll, before Allen swings it to the corner to the open Lauri Markkanen, who drains the wide open three. Again here, the Cavs run a supposed pick and roll play. However, Rubio instead dishes out the entry pass to Allen on the low block, while Allen then throws the precise lob pass to the rim running Evan Mobley, who makes the nice finish right at the basket. Overall, last season, only 3% of Jarrett Allen's total assists have been received by other big men. However, that assist rate is up to 33% this season, again thanks to Allen buying in as part of the Cavs' big lineups. So nearly 3 months into the regular season, the Cavs sit just 1.5 games behind the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, which means hosting a playoff series is actually a huge possibility for this team during the postseason. A huge reason for that is Jarrett Allen refining all areas of his game, both on offense and defense, while also starting to look like he's gonna be one of the best players from the center position for years to come. That's why I think anything less than an all-star selection for Allen would fail to justify just how good he has been for the Cavs this season. So thank you guys if you made it this far into the video, and what do you think is Jarrett Allen's ceiling? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Rero Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.